trouble, then it'll find you. If you're asking for problems, and they'll abide you. No matter where you go, you're right beside you. So if you're looking for trouble, then it'll find you. If you wanna fight, then I'll fight you. If you wanna wrong, then I'll right you. When you try to forget, I'll remind you. 'Cause if you wanna fight, then I'll fight you. Why do we go back and forth again? Go down swinging in the end. Sometimes I wonder if you're even my friend. Are you my friend? If you wanna go, you got a right to. If you're testing me, then I'll test you. I know you wanna explain, but you don't have to. 'Cause if you wanna go, you got a right to. I can give you a line if you're walking. I can give you a line, but you're crossing. Just remind yourself who the boss is when I give you a line and you walk in. Why do we go back and forth again and go down swinging in the end? Sometimes I wonder if you're even my friend. Are you my friend? It started out funny, but nobody's laughing with you now. And every day that passes, it feels like the joke's on me. You probably shouldn't push me, you don't wanna get me angry. Because you always get messing If you're looking for trouble, then it'll find you. If you're asking for problems, and they'll abide you. No matter where you go, you're right beside you. So if you're looking for trouble, it'll find you. Thank you.
So good. That was the song Looking for Trouble and Mess Around, the first song from Lauren Morrow. Lauren, you and Jason have another band, the Whiskey Gentry, but this Lauren Morrow moniker, you just put out your debut self-titled EP this past October, 4-song EP. How did this new EP come together? And I hear you have a lot of new songs on the way too. So is there a full-length album coming out?
Yeah. So this whole thing kind of started because Jason and I moved to Nashville 2 years ago in September. And we had a band called the Whiskey Gentry for 10 years, which we don't have that band anymore. But it felt like there was a lot of whiskey-named bands that we were always getting confused with. And so Jason was like, I think we just need to go out underneath your name, which was really terrifying at first. And, it's been really good, though. It's been a good change for us. We've got to kind of reorganize the sound that we want and all that. So, yeah.
And you're such an amazing storyteller already. Those first 4 songs that have been out now for a few months. Mess Around in particular. Can you tell us about that song?
Well, it's like, I joke that it's like my Taylor Swift diss track about like a girl that used to be my friend that's not my friend anymore. And that's really all I can say. Like, if you listen to it, you'll get at the hint. So... yeah.
And we'll get into some more stories too as the songs go on. So let's get into the next 2.
Yeah. So did you guys ever watch a show called Mad Men? It's on AMC. So if you never watched it, it's a show about this guy named Don Draper, who's an ad executive in off Madison Avenue in New York in the 60s, and he's really good at his job, but he just makes, really poor choices in other areas a lot. And so this one day he gets into the elevator with this kid that he's hired that works for him, and the kid looks at Don and he goes, oh, there's kids in here, okay. He goes, Don, I think you're such a...
a-hole.
Yeah, that's like censored, right? And Don looks at the kid and he goes, I don't think about you at all. And he walks out of the elevator and I was like, yes. It was just the best like retort, I felt like, because all the time people are like giving you their opinion when you don't ask for it, and I don't want it, and I don't care what you think about me or anything. So I wrote this song and it's called I Don't Think About You at All. And it's for... I'm sure you think that I'm crazy. I dance to a different drum, and maybe you're right, and maybe sometimes I wonder, what have I done? But I'm quite alright and ain't me. But you must think a lot about you, and you think I'll cry, but I'm having a ball. I don't think about you at all, and you might think that you've got me pegged, and you might think that you know it all, but I wonder what you think if you knew. I don't think about you at all.
Come on in.
that you know it all. But I wonder what you'd think if you knew. I don't think about you at all. So I'll do me and you do you. I don't think about you at all. I don't think about you at all.
Thank you. So, like I said, Jason and I moved to Nashville 2 years ago, and it's been amazing. And we're, pursuing music full time, which is really crazy to say, coming from a girl who worked for the Labor Department of Georgia for 5 years and had a 401k, which I don't have anymore. I had to cash it out to pay my mortgage. Anyway, so we wrote this song. Jason, this one day, he was like, you gotta just constantly gotta hustle. And it's true, and we've got to be always thinking of ways to make money to pursue this dream. So this is a song that we wrote about that. It's called Hustle, and it is a true story. I put an ad in the paper so everyone could read it. Says I'm looking for a J.O.B. 'Cause the dream I'm living keeps taking from my pockets, ain't paying what I thought it'd be. But that's the cost of being my own boss. Don't you know I love it? So when a call comes in that says, hey, you're hired, I'll tell them where they can shove it. You gotta H-U-S-T-L-E. You gotta hustle, baby, just like me. A bartender or a teacher or a television preacher, you just trying to make your ends meet. There may be a time when my name's in lights, but it won't stop there, you see. I'll be working till I'm dead, 'cause that's the way I'm bred. Hustle, baby, just like me. Well, everybody's saying it gets harder by the minute, and I guess I know they're right. 'Cause I've been playing for 10
Lauren, I'm curious, what's your musical background? When did you start playing guitar? And at some point, oh, she's a big fan of you, by the way. We've got a dancer over here.
Oh, boy.
Big fan. At some point, you had to be like, damn, I got a voice.
Oh, I had a really tough time with that. When I was growing up, I would play guitar when I was like 15, and this is when I got my first guitar. And I would write songs, and I would like only show my girlfriends, like my closest girlfriends, but I would make them get in my closet of my bedroom because I didn't want anyone to hear in my house. I was like, no one can know this thing. And I was terrified to play in front of people for the longest time. And then I went to go study English in Newcastle, England, and I didn't know anybody, and they didn't know me. And I was like, well, I'll just go play the show, and I'd played an acoustic show for the first time over there, but I was like 19 when that happened. It took a while to get there.
And you mentioned that it was terrifying at first to go under your own name recently for this new EP and this whole new thing.
Yeah.
Do you find it empowering now? I assume because you're going full-time musician, you mentioned that you do 4-hour honky-tonk sets now, so it's got to feel more natural now. Do you find it more empowering now?
Yeah, it was only weird for like, like maybe a couple months, but like, let's be honest, I like it. So, it's like...
Good,
like,
you should.
It was weird at first, yeah, but because I felt like I was bragging for some reason, but now I'm kind of like, no, like this, I think the songs represent who I am as a human, and they're true stories to me, and so I feel like it's a good way for us to... Oh my God.
Big fan. She loves her songs.
I love you. So...
You guys can see your face.
She's going to join your band, okay?
Oh,
Is that okay?
Come on. You're welcome.
I'm really excited for you to tell a story about this next song.
Okay. So Jason, my husband, had gotten back from tour when we were with Whiskey Gentry. And he went to go have a drink with a buddy of his, and he goes, hey, I just saw that you were playing in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And he was like, that's cool. All my family lives there, everybody except for my grandma. She went missing 10 years ago. And Jason was like, what? And he goes, yeah, she and my grandpa were fighting, and they went to Lake Nickajack to go camp on their 50th wedding anniversary, and then she never came back from the camping trip. And Grandpa got remarried 6 months after that. And this is, yeah, I know, right? And so I watch a lot of Dateline and a lot of Law and Order, and Jason told me this, and I was like, what?
She's basically a detective.
Yeah, I basically am a detective. And so Jason was like, we should write this song, about Barbara Jean.
But I thought it would be minor key, she's dead, murder ballad.
Like she's
I
talking
guess I'm
from
basic.
the grave.
She's like, no, let's write it from Granddad's perspective in a major key. Yeah, it's messed up.
Welcome to the
Earmuffs.
mind. Criminal Minds. Hey. So this is called Barbara Jean, and it's a song sung in a major key from Granddad's perspective. Barbara Jean, you're so pretty, but even prettier still today. 50 years of marriage deserves a getaway. I know that you're hurting. I know that I made your heart break. So let's put this all behind us at the bottom of the lake. Barbara Jean, ain't it strange the way things change? I thought that we would make it all the way. Barbara Jean, you should have seen
never going home at all. I can't tell you all my secrets, but I can make that wish come true. But you don't know won't hurt you, and now it won't hurt me too. Barbara Jean, ain't it strange the way things change? I thought that we would make it all the way. Barbara Jean, you should have seen the way your green eyes fade, and how your auburn hair flows beneath the waves, and how your auburn hair it flows beneath the waves. Thank you. So, on a lighter note, here's a song about my mom. My mom and I are really close. We were always really close growing up, and still are. And like many mothers and daughters, though, you know, we have our good days and our bad days. And I get on her nerves. She gets on my nerves. Things happen. But but the older that I get, the more you come to realize that like your parents had this whole life before you existed, and they were actually pretty cool. And my mom was really cool, cooler than me. She would sneak out of the house when she was like 16 and go smoke joints with Leonard Skinner. And when I was 16, I was going to the Harry Potter book premieres at Barnes & Noble. So, we're pretty different. But she's pretty awesome. And her name's Vicki Lynn, and this is her song. She was born in the spring in a hospital room in Anniston. Her parents named her Vicki Lynn, but they didn't know why. Doctors and the nurses told her mama that she might not make it. They said you better start praying for her to get through the night. Oh God, please save her, mama cried. Save Vicki Lynn in 1955. Talkative and bright and out the shy time she was growing. And before you know it, telling everybody what to do. Baby brother came and the family moved away to Birmingham. And that's when she really began showing her bad side too. Mama's worried, but her daddy's full of pride. And Vicki Lynn in 1965. Senior year, long hair behind her ears, she's glowing. And though she didn't know it, the boys all love her too. Beatles and the Stones, hail, rock and roll, she's a rebel. Her daddy said she'd go to hell, and he tried to burn her records too. But have you ever seen a more beautiful girl alive than Vicki Lynn in 1975? Broken divorce
force with a child to care for. She's a baby, raising a baby at 22. By the time she found peace with her boy on her knee, she'd had it. So she moved to Atlanta to start over for a year or two. She met a man at a party and gave love another try. She became my mama in 1985. Thank you. So I think that
Where's this amazing kid from? Whose spawn are you?
I know. So the other day I was writing a song with a friend of mine in Nashville, and he came in and he was like, "Oh, you know what I want to write about? I want to write about how like I'm just so sick of like small talk with people and like just like arguing and bickering and like all of the stuff that like I feel like people get caught up in now, and especially with social media and stuff." And so we wrote this song called "Do Better," and it's just really about just being nice to people and like cutting through the crap and just being a good human, because at the end of the day, that's all we are on this planet. And we can just be kind and be nice and not argue about dumb stuff. I don't want to talk about what he did. I don't want to talk about how bad the traffic is. I don't want to talk about the weather. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about trade deals with China. I don't want to talk about what I missed last night. And I don't want to talk about what's hip. I want to talk about being true, how we can keep it together. 'Cause if we're alone in the universe, I know we can do better.
it for the band.
All right, we're going to open it up for audience questions now. Do we know what happened to the grandma who went missing on the lake?
She's still missing.
Or lake was conjecture, yes?
That's
a different
so
song.
no one's found her. So they found her car like an hour south of where Lake Nickjack is.
Yeah, but according to my buddy, like she didn't have a license, or like she never really, like she was like a homemaker, and she didn't have. She's like from 50 years. They were 50 years old, been married for 50 years. So she didn't have a license, even really know how to drive a car. So the fact that she would leave the campsite with the car and show up an hour and a half down the road,
It's weird.
That's creepy.
And the sisters are all fighting about what happened to mom. Like half of them are with dad, and the other half are like, no.
Well, what did dad say?
I don't know. I think he's scary, so they're all kind of scared of him. I mean, he does. I mean,
No one asked because
No, it's cool, man.
I think we know what happened.
Oh, God. That's dark.
Yeah.
Next version, minor key.
Right.
Any other questions? The sound has changed from Whiskey Gentry. Can you talk about that process?
Yeah. So Whiskey Gentry, we started that band. Jason and I first started dating, and we met some people in Atlanta that were, a banjo player, mandolin player, fiddle player, bass and drums. But, Jason grew up playing old punk rock and listening to Bad Religion and, and all kinds of stuff. So he and our bass player and our drummer at the time were super punk oriented, and then we had this really fast bluegrass situation. So we were like, kind of like insane bluegrass fast craziness. And it was really fun, but then like, I don't know, it's like I always knew there was this other side of like songwriting that I wanted to explore that wasn't so chaotic or fast, and just getting a moment to just kind of tell the stories and breathe and not to rush through everything. And so when we moved to Nashville and started writing Lauren Morrow stuff, it became kind of clear that we were moving in this different direction that was going to be a little bit more mellow and a little bit more guitar driven. And
well, the writing was on the wall at the end of the Whiskey Gentry because we were writing songs that didn't fit with that band. Yeah. And we were like, okay, we're just going to open up this set with 4 songs with just me and Lauren. Then you guys can come out and we'll play 180 beats a minute.
And then we'll pass out. Yeah.
Any other questions? Or we could do one more song. One more song.
Okay. Jason and I are going to do this one.
Let's give this band a hand.
But yeah, give it up for Tony and Cam and Ian.
Yeah, boys.
Whenever we're in an opportunity like this, Jason and I like to do this next song because it's really special to us. And it's actually a song that was on the very last Whiskey Gentry record, but we love it, and thank you. It's called If You Were an Astronaut, and we wrote it in the hotel room that Graham Parsons passed away in Joshua Tree, California. If you were an astronaut lost out in space, 1 million miles from home, all engines are busted, all signals are lost, you floating out there on your own. I take my own ship on my own special trip and rescue you way up there. And I'll hold your hand as the stars pass us by and we drift off into the air. If you were a sailor, shipwrecked at sea, the waves crashing onto your boat, stuck on an island with no way to leave, day after day losing hope.
work on our tans with our toes in the sand on a permanent vacation with you. Some days it will be harder, and some days it'll be pretty rough. But if you're by my side all the time, then that will be enough. And when we're both old and our hair is gone gray, we've done all our lives called to do. Grandchildren on laps and afternoon naps with daytime TV on the tube. There will come a day when you will say, I don't have much time left on earth, and I'll stay by your side through that endless night and lay us both into the dirt. Some days it will be harder, and some days it'll be pretty rough. But if you're by my side all the time, then that will be enough. And that will be enough. Thank you so much.